All right, welcome everyone. My name's Adam Stewart, and today I'll be showing you how to use ProspectNow when you're sending out physical mail. So we're going to talk about how to create letters, labels, postcards, and envelopes. And then at the end of the webinar, we'll have time for any questions. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is put together a search and select which property owners or tenants, depending on the nature of your search, that you want to send mail to. So I'm going to just go ahead and put together a quick search using our guided search feature. And if you have not seen this before, I encourage you to view our Introduction to ProspectNow webinar that we hold every Tuesday. It's also on our YouTube channel if you want to view a recorded version of that webinar. So we'll do Harris County, Texas, cities, search the whole county, and I'm just going to let's do some single family homes that are likely to sell. Okay. All right, so I've just got my search put together here. And I'm not going to send mail to all of these folks, but that's, I could if I wanted to. Let me just go ahead and select a few records here. So this is what you would do first. You would identify which properties that you want to send some mail to, and then you would select, those records using these check boxes. When you're ready to go, you'll notice there's an orange button here that says Send Mail, and that's what we're going to go ahead and click on. So now we're in the mailing dashboard, and at this point we have a few different options, a few different routes we can take. I'm going to talk about all of them today. We'll just move from left to right. So you can add new letters. This is a 8.5 by 11 page with your messaging on it. You can add postcards. You can download envelopes, labels, or if you are an annual subscription holder, you can download this data into a CSV file if you need to send that to your own mailing company or want to do your mail merge on your own. Below these options, you'll notice that you have kind of a library of your existing templates. You can see all the ones that I've done throughout the past, however long I've been doing this, and you can see that these are broken down into letters and postcards. I'm going to add a new one just so you can see the process from start to end. And go ahead and click the Add New Letter template. You're going to give this letter a name. I'm going to call this my 6/23/2016 webinar letter. I'm going to pause for a moment because I'm getting a message from one of the attendees on today's webinar saying that they cannot see my screen, they can only hear me. Let me just confirm, is anyone else unable to see what's on my computer screen? If you can just let me know by sending a message through the chat window there, that would be greatly appreciated. I just want to make sure that everyone is able to see. Okay, seems like everybody's able to see Nick, so it seems like it might be something. Okay, cool, good to go. All right, so where were we? So we're creating our letter template, and this is the process. We're going to name the letter template so that if we want to come back to it in the future, we can easily reference it. We're going to put in the letterhead here. And we can add if we want to add a logo to our letter, we can do that as well. I believe there are some requirements to this, so I don't know if, I believe it has to be 400 by 200 pixels, and I don't know if I have one that is in that size right now, so I may just skip that. If you want to add a logo, just go ahead and upload it, and it has to be 400 by 200 pixels. You're then going to put in your salutation, which is, you know, the initial greeting to your letter. You can choose well, let me pause for a moment. You'll notice there's a drop down here for your letter body that says choose template. We are in the process of adding templates that you can use that we're writing. Right now there's nothing there, but keep your eye on that in the future and you should see some options available for you. For now, you're just going to go ahead and type in your own messaging here, and you can you'll get an opportunity to edit this further as we proceed, but go ahead and just type in the letter body. I represent a group of investors looking to acquire properties such as the one you own. Have you considered selling this property? Right, and then obviously your messaging can be customized. You can type in whatever you want there. When you're satisfied, you're going to click next step, and that's going to take you to a page where you're able to edit this letter further. So it'll load up there, and now you can see it's a little bit more in terms of the formatting options. You've got more available up here. So something you might consider is property you own at, and then I would insert a merge field. This is the ProspectNow logo, you know, in this third row of tools here. If you open that up, you can insert custom fields such as property address. I can insert that, and that will now show up in the letter. As I proceed here, you'll see what that looks like for each property owner. You can make any changes up here that you want. When you're finished editing the formatting here, you're going to click next, and it's going to load up each individual letter for further editing. So you can see here that it has populated that property address into each individual letter. If I wanted to make any changes, I can go in here and say, you know, like for example, maybe I want to address this person as, you know, by their last name instead of their first name. I could go in here and type in an individual edit to this specific letter, which isn't going to change the template as a whole, right? So this one, it looks like there's no property owner name that we're able to reference, so it's got a field there for current owner. So these are all the letters individually editable for you prior to moving to the last step. So once you're satisfied with all your letters, you're going to be offered the chance to preview them. So we have the option here to download and send mail yourself. If that's something you want to do, you can just preview the letter. It will download a quick PDF preview, and you can see this is how it's going to print out. From there, you can download it as either a Word document, or you can download individual PDFs for each letter. Just depends on what you want to do. If you download it in Word, obviously you can do further editing from within that tool prior to sending it out. If you download it as a PDF, you know, you're just going to be able to print it out and put it in the mail. This is unlimited. You can do as much of this as you want. There's no additional fees nor anything other than, you know, the cost of your postage and printing supplies if you're sending out the mail yourself. The other option is for a small additional fee of $1 per page, per black and white page, and $2 per color page, ProspectNow will send the mail out on your behalf. That includes the postage and handling, and it gets to your recipient in about 5 to 7 business days. So if you want to do that, you're just going to click on Review Order. It will confirm your return address, and then it will ask you if you want to, well, it's going to actually require you to purchase the credits, again, $1 per black and white page, $2 per color page, to send out this letter. So you just put in your information. You can actually have a letter sent to yourself if you'd like, if you want to see what it looks like. You need to download and approve the print job. And one thing I'll point out, and I'm actually having our developers indicate this, you'll notice that it looks like the top half of the page is blank here. The letters are going to be delivered in a windowed envelope, and this top third of the page is actually where the return address will show up. So it's not going to be blank when it prints out. It's tri-folded, and then this is where the address will show up through the window in the envelope that's used. Okay, so it's that it's not blank when you print it out. I just want to stress that. When you're ready to go, you can again put in your credit card information, click Buy Now and Send Mail. Once you click this blue button, that's the point of no return. It gets immediately sent to our printing partner, and they immediately get everything printed, stuffed in envelopes, and sent out. And again, it will reach your recipients in 5 to 7 business days. So 3-step process, not too difficult, and if you are going through this and you need assistance, our support team is always available to help you. So that's how you create letters. So let me cancel that, and now we're going to talk about postcards. So we're back to this mailing dashboard, and we're going to want to send out some postcards. We just click that button. Unlike the letter option, this is something that you can only use ProspectNow for, so there's no version of this where you can print out your own postcards. So there's always going to be an additional cost for this. Unlike the letters, however, the cost is not based on whether the postcards are color or black and white. They're always going to be color. The pricing difference is actually dependent on the size of the postcard, and you'll notice that it's $1 for a 4x6 postcard and $2 for a 6x11 postcard. So I'm going to call this my 623 webinar postcard, and I'm just going to send out a 4x6. Click Next. This is really simple. You need to have a 4x6 image, PNG or JPEG file type, and I actually have an example template here. So you just upload the front of it, and when it's done, you'll see that. So this is just an example that I have. Click Next, and then you can enter the information that you would like to see on the back. So you could say, just listed or just sold, right, so you could type in your messaging. There's a limitation on the number of characters. I think it's 320 characters. You put in the messaging that you would like on the back, and then your return address. And that's it. And then you're going to preview it. That's what it's going to look like front and back. Send postcard. And then same process as before. You put in your payment information to purchase the mailing credits for the postcards. You can have one sent to yourself if you'd like, and then you can proof and approve it, and that's it. Same thing. It gets sent to your recipient in 5 to 7 business days. Really straightforward. And the next three things are even more straightforward. Download envelopes. It's going to open up a menu here for you where you're going to select your envelope type, the font, put in the return address. I would always recommend selecting this option that says address to partner where available. If the property is held by an LLC or some other corporate entity, and ProspectNow has the managing members information, which generally we do, if that's the case, then rather than your envelope being addressed to the LLC itself, it will be addressed to the managing partner. So it will be addressed to somebody by name, which is going to go a long way towards getting your letter actually opened. And then you can select if you want to print out these, if you just want it to show up on an 8.5 by 11, or if you want to actually print it out on the envelope. You click Create Envelopes, and it downloads a PDF that you can then, you're going to load up your printer with envelopes and then print this out. So you can see all the envelopes here. Very easy. Download labels is even easier because it's just a label. You select the label type. There's your option to address where partner where available. And then also there's an option to address to the current resident. So if you're doing bulk mail through the USPS, I believe in order to qualify for those bulk mail rates, you do have to have the or current resident line on your label. So that's why this checkbox is here. Just be aware that if you're using a smaller label, might not be able to fit all the information if the owner's name is really long or something like that. So just bear in mind that that may come into play. Then it's going to give you this PDF that you just load up your printer with the labels and print it out, and then you can stick them on your postcards or your letters or whatever you're trying to send out. Really easy stuff. The last thing here, as I mentioned briefly at the beginning of the webinar, there's an option here that says download to CSV. You will only be able to use this if you are an annual subscription holder or if you are with KW Commercial. Basically what this option allows you to do is if you work with a third-party print shop or you want to do your own mail merge, you can download this data in unlimited quantities into a CSV file. So it will download all the mailing information for these 10 owners into a spreadsheet that you can then use for your own mail merge, or if you want to send that to a print shop, that's the format they need. So that is an option for you, again, if you have paid in advance for a year of service or if you're with KW Commercial. If you are not in that category and you would like to have the information in a CSV file, you can do that in limited quantities, and that's going to fall under the category of a standard export. So I'm going to go back to my property search page here and point out to you that next to the send mail button that we pressed initially, there's an option here that says export. Now you are limited to 500 exports per month as part of your monthly subscription. So if you do want to use those for purposes of mailing, you certainly can. You would just click the export button. You can have it include phone numbers for the owners if you would like. You're going to click export, and then that's going to give you a similar CSV file as the one I just showed you. Except in addition to the mailing information that you saw in the original spreadsheet, it's going to have all of the property information for these property records, which is why we have the limitation of 500 per month. And folks, that is how you use ProspectNow to send direct mail.